I'm going to be reviewing this book. Not sure if you can see the full title. Anyway, A Million Suns. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. Mostly because of this one personal thing that I have with the book. Because it was a really good book. It was very interesting to read about Elder leading the ship now and all the problems he had, which I felt really bad for him because he had to take care of the whole ship, and on top of that, he had to worry about Barty trying to start a revolution, and then everyone getting mad because he's spending time with Amy, which I didn't understand because he spent half the book running around the ship trying to fix all the problems that people were starting, and then people were saying, "Oh, you don't care about the ship, you only care about Amy." What? Like, did they not notice how much time he spent running around through all the different levels trying to fix every single problem? And I think he's actually a pretty good leader. He's not the best, but I'm not sure if that's completely his fault, because I'm not sure what Eldest would have even told him. I'm not sure if he even told him much about how to be a leader, because, I mean, it's been a while since I read Across the Universe, so maybe I missed something or forgot something. But I think Elder is doing pretty well, considering, first of all, his age. He's pretty young for a leader of a whole entire ship. Second of all, the fact that there were so many problems going on that I'm pretty sure no matter who the leader was, it would have been really hard to deal with all those problems. And third of all, the fact that he had to deal with so much new information. Like, first of all, he found out the engine wasn't working. Then he found out that they were actually near the planet. So then they tried to go to the planet. But then all the shippers died. And then they could go to the planet. I'm pretty sure that dealing with all of that would have been pretty hard. Especially when you're... How old is Elder? I can't even remember. But he's pretty young to be leading a whole entire ship full of people, especially when some of those people were trying to start a revolution. So I think he did a pretty good job. My personal thing with the book that keeps me from giving it a 10 out of 10 is because with all the action going on, like, there was a lot of kind of just description of the action, which sometimes I love, but sometimes it gets boring. I'm not sure if boring is the right word, but I would personally rather read a whole, like, conversation between two characters about all the problems going on than read an actual description of, oh, here's an angry mob, then the angry mob did this, and the angry mob did that, because I don't care about the angry mob. I cannot personally relate to the angry mob, so I really don't want to read a whole page or more description on what the angry mob is doing. I'd rather hear Elder tell Amy, oh, the angry mob did this. Because I'm not a very visual person when I read. Sometimes I even miss the actual physical descriptions of the characters. Like, until a friend of mine told me that Prim in the Hunger Games had blonde hair, I was convinced that she had brown hair just like Candace. And I don't know why. I just completely missed the physical description of her character. And I was also convinced that Rue and Prim were basically twins, which is not the case. So I really just don't picture any characters or places or anything while I'm reading. And what else can I say about this book? Oh, Elder. I love Elder. I really do. But there are some times when I want to slap him in the face. One of those times was when Amy found Orion's video that shows Elder unplugging her. And I can't really remember, but I think she already knew that he was the one who unplugged her. But his whole thoughts during that scene really annoyed me because he was all like, oh no, now she won't like me. And I'm not really that good by myself, but now that she sees this, she's really not gonna like me. I'm like, Elder, she doesn't like you romantically. At all. Right now. So, I don't think that anything that happens would change her mind in either direction. She's just not looking for a relationship right now, so you need to get over it, Elder. Although I'm kind of a bit confused about Amy's whole thought process. Because she's like, I don't want to be with Elder. But then she kind of does. And it's just really, really confusing. Because she goes from like, I can completely understand why she wouldn't want to be with him. I just feel like I missed the part where she changed her mind. I think because she always did like him, but she didn't want to be with him because there really is no other option. And I can understand that. I mean, if everyone in the area where you are thinks you're a complete freak, and the only person who doesn't happens to like you, it would be a bit kind of hard to actually make a decision because, well, of course you like that person. They're the only one who doesn't think you're crazy. So, yeah. I understand Amy's reason for not liking Elder. She does like Elder, but for not wanting to be with him. I just feel like it would have been a little nicer if there had been a more gradual changing of her feelings, because it feels like one day she was like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with him, and then the next day, I love Elder. Like, I just think it should have been a lot more gradual. But, oh well. Those were really my only complaints about the book. It was just a really good book. And I would definitely recommend it. Although read the first book first, because if you don't, you'll be really confused. And I think that's it. So I hope you like this video. The next book I'm going to do is probably a sequel to A Million Suns, which is right here, Shades of Earth.